Hello everyone. In this lecture we will start chapter 4, which is first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics. Now there are some more names which first law of thermodynamics is known by. You can also call it law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy, or you can call it as Joule's law. Or you can also call it as quantitative law. Now, why it is called law of conservation of energy? It is due to the definition of first law of thermodynamics. So, the first law of thermodynamics states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Rather, it can only be converted one form of energy to another form. So, first law of thermodynamics states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Rather, it can only be converted from one form of energy to another form. That is, let's say that heat can be converted to work, or work can be converted to heat, but it cannot be destroyed. Okay, there is one more definition, that is for closed system undergoing cyclic process. That is a mathematical definition for uh, first law of thermodynamics. So for a closed system, you must remember this. This is the important point. For a closed system undergoing a cycle, according to first law of thermodynamics, for a closed system which is undergoing a cycle, the net heat interaction will be equal to net work interaction. Okay, uh, so let me write it. The net work interaction, net heat interaction, is equal to net work interaction. Okay, now this equation, that is net heat interaction is equal to net work interaction, is valid for both reversible and irreversible processes. Irreversible processes. Okay, this cyclic integration here indicates that integration to be placed for the closed cycle. Okay, so for first law of for a closed system undergoing a cycle, uh, it is said that net heat interaction will be equal to net heat work interaction. Okay, let's take a cycle as an example. For PV curve, let's say 1 2 3 4, for cyclic process 1 2 3 4 1. If we talk about net heat interaction, network interaction, so we can say Q12 plus Q23 plus Q34 plus Q41 is equal to work done from 1 2 plus work from 2 3 plus work from 3 4 plus work from 4 1. Okay, so this is the gist of first law of thermodynamics. Now moving on to the next topic. Next we will study about the consequences of first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so next topic is consequences of first law of thermodynamics. And in here the first consequence we will talk about is heat transfer is a path function. So in our basic thermodynamic basic concepts we studied that the heat transfer is a path heat and work are path function, but in this here we will see why heat is path function. Okay, so let me draw a process. Okay, so let's say okay, so I am drawing three curves here. This is 1 2 state 2 path A, and let's make it a cycle. This is path B, and let's say that instead of following back path B, it follows path C. Okay, so we will see what is the how the heat transfer is a path function. So let me mention, since from first law of thermodynamics we already know that net heat interaction will be equal to net work interaction. So I will be considering the cycle 1A 2B1. So for this cycle I can write Q12 plus Q21 is equal to work done 1 2 plus work done 2 1. Okay, okay, sorry, let me make a modification here. You can write it Q1A2 plus Q2B1 is equal to work done 1A2 plus work done 2B1. Now if we talk about process 1A to C1, we can similarly write net heat interaction is equal to net work interaction, that will be followed by Q1A2 plus Q2C1 is equal to work done 1A2 plus work done 2C1. Let's say this be the equation number 1, this is equation number 2. So we will subtract equation 1 from we will subtract equation 1 and equation 2. So let's see what we get. By subtracting we will, let's say if we subtract both, then Q1A2 1A2 will be omitted, and what will be left with is Q2B1 minus Q2C1 is equal to, similarly W1A2 and W1A2 will be omitted, and we will get W2B1 minus W to C1. From this plot we can see that work done from 2BA is this is work from 2BA, and this is work done from 2C1, sorry. So we can see both of these work done values are different. It means that this value will be finite and will be greater than 0 for this given condition. If there is some another condition, then it may be less than 0. So but we can say this is not equal to 0. This is for sure. Okay, now since this is not equal to 0, hence we can say that Q2B1 is not equal to Q2C1. So hence we can say here that heat is a path function. It isn't a point function. Next we will move to the second consequence of first law of thermodynamics, and the second consequence is energy is a property. Okay, so to prove this, from the we will use the same equation 2 from here. We can use this equation 2. Or we can directly use this equation here, and we will get, let me rearrange this first. So from this we can change this to Q2B1 minus, we can shift the work value here. 2B1 is equal to Q2C1 minus work done to C1. So here for along the, we can see that these values are all along the Q minus, sorry, not here, this is Q minus W along the path B, and this is Q minus W along path C. Okay, so what we can reduce, what we can say that this change will be equal to some finite value. Let's see that this finite value to some constant, let's say dE. So we can see from here that Q minus W, collectively Q minus W can be termed as point function. Why it can be termed as point function? Because we can see here that this Q minus W at for cycle 2B1 is equal to Q minus W for cycle 2C1. So it means that it is independent of the path Q minus W. So we can say that Q minus W is a point function, and for a sorry, let me write it as E here. Okay, so we can say that for a small change in heat minus a small change in W will be equal to dE, and from here and this is a point function, that is exact differential. And from here we can get delta Q is equal to dE plus del W, and this is the equation of first law of thermodynamics, valid, and this equation is also valid for both reversible and irreversible processes. And you can also integrate it to get the cyclic equation, let me do it here. So you can directly integrate this equation. On integrating, you will get delta Q plus equal to integration of dE, and since it is cyclic integration, we will write cyclic integration plus cyclic integration of delta W. And cyclic integration of any point function, we know that it will be equal to 0 because initial and final point will be same, so the value will be 0. Hence from here we can get cyclic integration of delta Q is equal to cyclic integration of delta W. Now we can reduce it further, this equation further. We will apply some conditions on it. So let's apply our first condition. Let's say first that the system is a closed system. So in case of closed system, we can write energy of the system as the sum of internal energy plus sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. So from here, if the system is stationary, let's say the second point, which is system is stationary system, and from here we can also differentiate it. D is equal to du plus d of kinetic energy plus d of potential energy. Let's say the second point, that system is stationary system. In case of stationary system, our kinetic energy change, d of kinetic energy and d of potential energy will be 0. So we can directly write dE is equal to du. Okay, so these are the steps which you should remember, because this may be asked in examination. And now we will apply our third condition. The third condition is that the process is quasi-static. Okay, is quasi-static. Reversible. So for quasi-static reversible, we know that our work done value delta W is given by PdV. Okay, so here we can write from this, when we applied the condition for stationary system, we can write delta Q is equal to du plus delta W. Okay, now since we have applied the condition of quasi-static reversible, so for quasi-static reversible condition, we know that the work done value is PdV, so we can directly apply it here. So we will get delta Q is equal to du plus PdV. So this equation is only applicable when these three conditions are satisfied. That is, the system must be closed system, stationary, and reversible quasi-static. Now the above equation which I have originally mentioned, this equation, so it was applicable for both reversible and irreversible. But you should remember that this equation du plus PdV is only applicable for reversible quasi-static processes. Why? Because we have applied certain condition in this equation to get this equation. Okay, now we will move to next topic. So, and not next topic, the third point, we are still talking in the consequences of first law of thermodynamics. So first we have discussed heat transfer is a path function. Second point we have discussed is energy is a property. And moving to third point, our third point is energy of an isolated system. Energy of an isolated system remains constant. Okay, so to derive this, we will first again write the first law equation, that is basic equation, del Q is equal to dE plus del W. And now we can say here, for an isolated system, the net change of energy, or we can say that for isolated system, what happens for isolated system? For isolated system, there is no heat transfer, there is no work transfer. What does it mean? It means that net change in energy is equal to 0. So this is the condition for energy for an isolated system. So if d is equal to 0, it means that E is equal to constant. If E is constant, it verifies this conjunction, that is energy of an isolated system remains constant. Okay. And here, since we know that universe is an example of isolated system, so we can say that the energy of an universe is always constant. Okay. And from here we can also write energy initial is equal to energy final for an isolated system. Okay, now moving on to next consequences. So the fourth consequences we can talk about is perpetual motion machine of first kind. It is also written as PMM1. Okay. So what is perpetual motion machine? So then perpetual, what is the meaning of perpetual? Perpetual means never changing. And is impossible. And why this perpetual motion machine of first kind is impossible? Because it violates first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so let's see how it violates the first law of thermodynamics. Let's consider system. So let this be any device, and we are and the perpetual what perpetual motion machine states. If it is a perpetual motion machine, then it states that a system, a machine which can produce work continuously, without any form of energy which is continuously supplied to it. So it is saying that PMM1 is a so basically the definition of PMM1 is, it is impossible to, let me write it here, it is impossible to construct a device which produces work continuously without consuming any other form of energy. So there is no input, Q is equal to 0, but there is continuous supply of I can say other E, energy supplied equal to 0, but there is continuous supply of work from here. Okay, so this type of machine is known as perpetual motion machine of first kind. Now if we move to next topic, in next topic we will see the heat transfer equation or heat transfer formulas for various processes, like we have done in for work transfer. Okay, so next topic is heat transfer in various processes. So let's talk about first constant volume process. Before discussing this, let's discuss few more things first. Okay, so let's talk about specific heat at constant volume, CV. So mathematically we can represent CV by using CV is defined as the rate of change of, so let me mention mathematically, CV is defined as rate of change of internal energy with respect to temperature when the volume is held constant at constant volume. Okay, so CV is equal to del U by del T at a constant volume. So from here for a constant volume process, we can rewrite or rearrange this as delta U at V is equal to integration of CV dt. Okay, now from the first law of thermodynamics, as we had studied earlier, for a closed stationary system we can use Q is equal to, delta Q is equal to du plus delta W. So we can use and this work done is at constant volume. This heat is also a constant volume, and okay, and let's say this or either we can say, let's consider this equation at a constant volume. So at constant volume we can say that and before that, if we consider that the process is irreversible, then our equation can be written as del Q is equal to du plus pdv. Okay, now if we applied the constant volume, so we can get del Q at constant volume is equal to du at constant volume plus 0. So from here we can write delta Q at constant volume is equal to, for du constant volume we can write it as CV dt. CV dt. So we can define CV in another form now, that is CV is equal to del Q by del T at constant volume. Okay, now we will also discuss CP here. So let's discuss CP. But before CP, let's first discuss what is enthalpy. For enthalpy, we can say that enthalpy is defined as enthalpy is equal to sum of internal energy plus pressure into volume, specific volume. Okay, so on integrating, like if we consider the first law of thermodynamics, so from first law of thermodynamics we can say delta Q is equal to du plus pdv, and of course it considers our system is closed and it process is reversible with static and also system is static. Only if these three conditions are assumed, then we can write this equation here. Okay, now what we can do, we can we can assume that at a constant pressure we can write delta Q at constant pressure is equal to du plus, now since the pressure is constant, we can write pdv as d of pv. Okay, now we can also write it as delta Q at P is equal to du of u plus pv. Okay, so this exactly u plus pv term that you have defined is called enthalpy. So we can write delta Q at constant pressure is equal to dH. From here, uh, we have defined that enthalpy, that is U, H is equal to U plus PV, is specific enthalpy is a property of the system. Okay. Now first, let's also talk about this here first. So delta U is equal to CV dt. So we can and further moving downward, we get du. So you get du at constant volume is equal to CV dt. So from here we can tell that total that internal energy of the system is only a function of temperature only, since CV is constant for ideal gas, and this condition is only applicable for ideal gas. From here we can also write that, not from here, from here, or directly using the enthalpy equation, we can also write it as H is equal to U, that is plus PV, and PV can be written as R into T for unit mass. So we can say that H is also a function of T, since U is already a function of T for ideal gas. So we can indicate it as either it is U or H, both are function of T only for ideal gas. Okay. Now moving to the next, if we want to define Cp, so Cp is mathematically defined as rate of change of enthalpy to the rate of change of temperature at constant pressure. Okay, so we can now rewrite this equation in the form of in the similar way we have done with internal energy. We can also complete those steps, and we will get at the equation this equation only, del QP at constant pressure, del Q at constant pressure is equal to dH. Okay, so we can write that Q at constant pressure can be written as integration of Cp dt, and similarly here we can also write Q at constant volume can be written as integration of Cv dt. So after discussing these both terms, we can next move to the derivation of heat transfer equations for various processes. Okay, so let's start. So heat transfer of various sources in various processes. So first we will start with the constant volume process. In case of constant volume process, as we have already stated, from first law we can write dq is equal to du plus pdv. Okay, since v is constant, this term can be written as 0, v is equal to constant. Okay, so we get dq is equal to du, and let me write it as delta q is equal to du. Okay, so and since du can be written as mcv delta t, we can call that delta q, or delta q is equal to mcv delta t, and this is when the process is constant volume process. Now let's talk about the second process, constant pressure process. In case of constant pressure process, as we had discussed earlier in the above section, we can directly write it as del q at constant pressure can be written as dH, which is further equal to mcp dt. Okay, and this equation is and one more thing here I forgot to mention, that u is equal to mcv dt and h is equal to mcp dt. These both conditions are applicable for at constant I mean this one is applicable at constant pressure, this is at constant volume, and both are only applicable for ideal gases. Now moving back to our topic, we have already written delta Q at constant pressure can be written as mcp dt. Okay, so this is the heat transfer equation at constant pressure. Next we will talk about process 3. Process 3 is isothermal process. For isothermal process, we can write del Q is equal to du plus pdv if the system is closed, stationary and reversible, quasi-static reversible. So at constant pressure our temperature is constant, so it means that we can directly write del U is equal to 0. There will be no change in internal energy because du is will be equal to mcv dt. Okay, now we can write delta Q is equal to or directly equal to pdv. Okay, now we can integrate both sides and we can get Q for isothermal equation. Okay, Q for isothermal is equal to W for isothermal, and the value will be equal to C ln Vf by Vi is equal to C ln Pi by Pf. Okay, and the value of C here will be same as that was in work done, and that is Pi Vi equal to Pi Vi or Pf Vf or mRTI or equal to mRTF. Okay, now our fourth equation is fourth process is adiabatic process. Okay, so if we talk about fourth adiabatic, what is the speciality of adiabatic process? Adiabatic process is completely insulated, is carried out in an insulated environment. Since the process is insulated, it means that Q is also always equal to 0 for adiabatic process. Okay, so heat transfer in adiabatic process is always 0. Next, talk about point 5, process 5. Now one more thing to mention, there is a similar process to adiabatic, that is called diabatic. Sorry for the delay. So there is similar process to adiabatic process, that is called diabatic process. And in case of diabatic process, the heat transfer is not equal to 0. Okay, you have to just remember this statement. Now we will talk about fifth process, that is polytropic process. In case of polytropic process, you know that heat transfer is not equal to 0. Okay, so we have to consider the value of heat transfer too. Okay, so before continuing with the polytropic process, let me first clarify one topic, that is the relationship between Cp, Cv and R. Okay, so let's move polytropic process here to here. Okay, we will discuss polytropic process here. Now below this we will discuss relationship between. Okay, between Cp, Cv, R and gamma. So you all know these relations. I have already clarified it in few of the relations in previous lectures, but let me clarify it once again. So this gamma is known as Cp by Cv. Okay. And what is gamma? This gamma is can be defined as boundary work, ratio of boundary work up to ratio of heat supplied. Okay, so let's see that what's heat supplied can be written. So this gamma is gamma. What gamma indicate that what can be the possible boundary work done and what can be the possible heat supplied to system. Okay, so this is the main relation which you have to remember. Gamma is equal to Cp by Cv, and the next relation which is required that is Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Okay, you can also derive this equation Cp minus Cv is equal to R. And how can you derive? Let me show it to you. So you already know H is equal to U plus PV. Okay, so we can for ideal gas we can write H is equal to U plus, we can write PV is equal to MRT. Okay, now if we differentiate this equation we will get dH is equal to du plus mr dt. Okay, now we can write dH is equal to mcp dt and du is equal to mcv dt plus here as it is mr dt. So we can reduce it to Cp is equal to Cv plus R. So we can from here we can get Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Okay, this is a important relation which you should remember. And next, if we like put the value, substitute the value of Cp and Cv, like from here you can find the value of Cp and substitute here. So you will get two relations, that both of Cp and Cv in terms of R. That relations are Cv is equal to R upon gamma minus 1, and the next is Cp is equal to gamma R by gamma minus 1. So you from here you can see that Cp is always gamma times of Cv. Okay, so here in similarly Cp is gamma times of Cv, gamma R upon gamma minus 1. Okay, so in few derivations we will use these equations. So now if we talk about our heat transfer during polytropic process, so we can continue it from here. So we all know that from the first law of thermodynamics, del Q is equal to du plus pdv. Okay, now, or you can write it as du pdv. Okay, now we can from here we can write like du is equal to mcv dt, del Q is equal to mcv dt plus pdv, and further we can write it delta Q is equal to m times of R by gamma minus 1 into dt plus pdv. Okay, what we can write further is like here it is written mr dt. Okay, so mr dt from ideal gas equation we can write mr dt to be d of pv. You all should agree with me that pv is equal to mrt. So if we differentiate both sides, so d of pv is equal to mr dt we will get. Okay, upon gamma minus 1 plus pdv, and pdv work we have already calculated in the in previous lecture, that is equal to P1 V1 minus P2 V2 upon n minus 1. Okay, now we can like differentiate this d of PV by gamma minus 1. So from here we will get Q poly. If we integrate sorry, let me transfer it, plus PdV. Now if we integrate all the terms, integrate, so we will get Q poly is equal to PV by gamma minus 1. If we integrate from point 1 to point 2, we will get P2 V2 minus P1 V1 upon gamma minus 1. And for PdV, if we integrate for a polytropic process, we all know PV power n is equal to constant, and we get P1 V1 minus P2 V2 upon n minus 1. Okay, now we can solve this equation. Q poly is equal to, so on solving we will get, like after taking LCM and solving all the parts, we will get gamma minus n upon gamma minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2 upon n minus 1. So from here we can write Q of polytropic process will be equal to gamma minus n by gamma minus 1 times of work done during polytropic process. Okay, this is a very important relationship which will be used for heat transfer again in thermodynamics calculation of polytropic heat transfer again and again. And from this Q poly we define a new term, and the new term we define is known as polytropic specific heat. Specific heat. What is polytropic specific heat? So C poly is, like we have already described Cp and Cv. So C poly is defined as polytropic heat transfer upon mdt per unit mass for per unit change in temperature. Okay, from here after substituting the value of Q poly, and like we can get C poly is equal to minus R upon n minus 1 into gamma minus n upon gamma minus 1, and for further reducing it, we get C poly is equal to minus times of Cv into gamma minus n upon n minus 1. This is also a very important formula for polytropic heat specific heat. Okay, now as you can see that this is already a negative term. We can see that Cv is always positive. Okay, so if a value of n is between 1 and gamma, so in this case, in this case, so our value of gamma minus n upon n minus 1 will always be positive. If this is positive, what does it represent? It represents that C poly is negative. In which case, in case of n value is between 1 and gamma. So since the value of Cp is negative, so C poly is negative, so it indicates that that total heat supplied, even if it's supplied total heat, that after supplying the Q poly, and for same our temperature will decrease. You can guess from here, like if we supplied 10 joule heat, its temperature should increase. But what is happening here? Here instead the temperature is decreasing, because if we want C poly, if we supplied the heat, then Q poly will be positive and M will always positive. So only option is that dt is negative. So dt is negative indicate that temperature of the temperature is decreasing. Okay, so for a polytropic heat polytropic process, if value of index, polytropic index n is between 1 and gamma. Okay, so then what will happen? Then even if we supply heat, the temperature of the system will always decrease. And why does it decrease? Why does it decrease? What do you think? So for polytropic process, if n is between 1 and gamma, then work done by the gas exceeds the heat supply. Okay, work done by the gas will exceed the heat supply, and hence the internal energy of the system will also reduce to like compensate for the work done, and the temperature of gas will decrease. So let me like write it mathematically for you here. Wait a minute. Okay, so what I can write? Okay, let's give me a minute. Okay, so what I can write is for from first law of thermodynamics, we can write that delta Q is equal to du plus del W. We know that in this case what is happening. In this case our we have positive heat supplied is positive. Okay, but we see that temperature of the system is decreasing. I mean this system is del Q is increasing, our del U value is decreasing. What does it indicate? It indicates that value of dW must be increasing exceedingly, like by the amount. So the increase in work done will be more than the heat supplied. Okay, after then only that then reduction in the internal energy value will be compensated. Okay, so in case of polytropic process, if n polytropic index value is between 1 and gamma, we can get more work by reducing less heat. You get this now? Yes. So after this we will be okay, and for this thing I have explained here, we will see through a question also in our next question session. We will solve a question from there. I will use few numerical values which we will obtain in solution, and from that I will also show you how much like if we how much heat we supply, how much temperature will decrease, and how much work we will obtain during polytropic process. Okay, so we will end today's lecture here, and in next lecture we will look into application of first law of thermodynamics. Okay, and after that we will do a question session in which I will solve the question including chapter 4 and chapter 5, that is we will discuss in next lecture. Okay, thank you for today.